Moving on, Nakumatt Supermarket Administrator is expected to appeal to creditors to allow the business continue as a going concern. In a detailed report exclusively seen by Citizen Television, the administrator will pitch for debt waiver and equity conversion of the 35.9 billion shillings the retailer owes suppliers, banks and governments. I did that story and let's now have a look at it.
It is a revelation that opens the lid on the extent of the financial distress that the once leading supermarket in the region finds itself in. The audit carried out by audit firm PKF, whose manager Peter Kahi is the administrator of the beleaguered supermarket, indicates that creditors, among them the Kenya Revenue Authority, are demanding close to 36 billion shillings. The debt breakdown paints a picture of an organization that was at ease with suppliers and lenders before the financial storm checked in. The two owed 18 billion shillings and 6.9 billion shillings respectively. The supermarket also holds government papers amounting to 4.7 billion shillings, a 1.8 billion shilling tax liability to the KRA, and unpaid salaries and allowances totaling 1.3 billion shillings. But what is startling that out of this? If the farm was to be liquidated, only less than 5 billion shillings could be realized, leaving a pending bill of 29 billion shillings. It is out of this that the administrator expects to table a proposal to creditors to let the business continue operating in the hope that if it survives, it will be able to fully service its financial obligations. Thus, Kahi is proposing a debt waiver of up to 25% and 75% equity conversion among trade creditors and private placement investors. To the banks, Kahi says if agreeable to them, Nakumatt will resume servicing the loans in the year 2021 for a period of 6 years. The proposals also include cutting down by 50% the retailer's workforce to 1,800 workers. If adopted, Kahi says the management structure of Nakumatt that is currently domiciled in the founder's family be opened up to a more professionally and competitively sought individuals. Over the past year, Nakumatt has seen its branches across the East African region reduced from 67 to a paltry 17 branches. The remaining branches being supported under a deal with its previous rival Tusky Supermarket. Kahi, in his final submissions, asks for his tenure as administrator to be extended for a further year to monitor the progress of his proposals if adopted.
Let's now delve deeper into that story where we are linking up with our very own Dennis Otieno, who's at the Osho Center for a quick update on that meeting that was expected to take place this morning. Dennis, if you can hear me, just tell us whether that meeting is on and if indeed Administrator Peter Kahi has been able to meet those creditors.
Right, a very good morning to you, Igunza, there in studio. Yes, this particular meeting began at around 8 a.m. and it is ongoing even as I talk to you right now. Nakumatt Administrator Peter Kahi is leading the Nakumatt team in meeting with the creditors here. And basically what he's doing is actually presenting a number of proposals, rescue proposals for that matter, that should be, that is looking forward to convince the creditors here to take up. Now, one of the key proposals is actually one of the key proposals that he's actually making is to convince the creditors here to actually take a majority stake in the company. And that entails them converting 75% of their debt into equity. And the remaining 25%, according to the proposals that we've seen from Kahi, is that he is suggesting that they should actually be waived. And that particular proposal, among other proposals, is actually what is happening right now. And clearly, as you can see from what we've been seeing in the past, he also did suggest that the current human resource base at Nakumatt has to be aligned with the current organizational needs of this particular retailer. You remember that it has been struggling so much, and looking at the debt that Nakumatt has actually accrued, over 35 billion shillings as debt. He's actually saying the human resource base has to be looked at, and this entails actually a process of restructuring, a process of downsizing of close to half of that particular workforce. Now, clearly, as we've told you, we are here at Visa Ushwal, and in this particular place, we do have the creditors meeting to discuss to hear what proposal Mr. Kai has for that matter. And looking at what has been happening is that the creditors that we do have here, we do have landlords, we also do have manufacturers, and also the lenders, who are actually the banks. From the PKF report, we saw that Nakumatt is owing these particular lenders close to 6.9 billion shillings, and that indeed is a huge amount. And Igunza, if you can hear me, there are a number of proposals that I did say that Kai is looking forward to present, but that conversion of debt into equity is actually the key proposal. But only creditors whose debt has actually been verified are the only ones who are actually going to be allowed to vote in this particular meeting. The meeting is still ongoing. It's been ongoing since 8 in the morning, and we will keep you posted as to what they have decided. Mr. Peter Kai, the administrator, who actually took over on January 22nd to manage this particular company, is actually confident that Nakumatt can be salvaged, and he has been terming it as a going concern, and that means that he is optimistic that a way forward can be arrived at. But all that depends on the decision that will be made today once he presents those particular proposals to the creditors here.
Thank you, Dennis. Yes, Mr. Peter Kai could be an optimistic man, but the question is, what's the mood like amongst those creditors, and are they likely going to accept the proposals from Mr. Kai himself, and are we also having employees represented in that particular meeting?
I didn't get your last bit on that question, Igunza. But definitely from what we've been hearing so far, we are outside actually here, but the creditors are actually concerned, and indeed they're asking a number of questions. I don't think it will be a very easy idea to buy for the creditors, because they have to weigh in so many things.
Thank you very much indeed. That's our very own Dennis Ochieno coming to us live from the Osho Center, giving us an update on the goings on as far as salvaging Nakumatt goes. We will be taking a short break. Don't go away.